Today is Wednesday, February the 9th, 2022, and I am joined by Broward College alumna Faith Pinnock-Lee, who acquired her associate's degree in public administration in 2010 with high honors. Faith, thank you so much for being here today and agreeing to share your story.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Faith, can we start at the beginning? Tell us where you grew up, a bit about your background, and what led you to Broward College.
I was born in Jamaica, came here as a young person. I attended North Miami Senior High, and I started working in law enforcement, and Broward College became proximity that was the best for me, and then word of mouth, because I had a lot of co-workers that had had experiences there. So I grew up pretty much here. I spent the first 15 years of my life in Jamaica, but I've been here in the States since then.
Can you tell us about a couple of moments that stand out in your memory about your time at the college?
Well, I had quite a few, because coming from the islands where, the education system is a lot different. Broward College definitely made the transition from high school into college very, very easy. One, with the different, the teachers, like you have so many different teachers. The teachers were all of different cultures, which is kind of what I was accustomed to. The career center, going there and asking questions and being able to get clear answers that weren't too complicated, that was definitely a bonus. And definitely just the atmosphere. It was very easy to transition from, being in high school, being in a work environment, and then having Broward College kind of create that gap between the two. That's what it was for me. It was creating that gap between growing up and becoming an adult. That's what it did for me.
Okay. Did you have any favorite classes or things that motivated you?
My favorite classes by far were all the business administration classes, because that's where my head was geared to. I do have an experience where math was not my favorite subject. I want to let you know that was a subject I wanted to leave. If I never had to take it, I wouldn't take it. And I remember meeting with my counselor, and just by talking to him, I don't remember his name, but just by talking to him, he encouraged me to kind of like whatever fears I had of mathematics, to just kind of like block it out and give it a try. And so math soon became my favorite subject after having that conversation and just through trial and error, taking a couple of different courses. So math became my favorite subject as well.
Okay, great. So where did you go after Broward College? What was your path?
After Broward College, so I remained working in government. After Broward College, I went to Florida Atlantic University, where I went on to get my bachelor's degree in public administration with a minor in police administration. And I went on to do that. I recently retired after 26 years, both at police and fire administration. And I continued where I went to Nova and started studying for my master's in mental health counseling, to be able to give back to my first responders who so often suffer with mental illness.
Faith, was there anything that you learned at Broward College that has stuck with you to this day?
I have learned that studying is not as complicated and as far-fetched as we often believe. My children were able to see me as a single mom going to Broward College, and they saw mommy being able to work, being able to be mom, being able to go to school, and not having that overwhelming feeling of not being successful. So definitely the environment there is very conducive to people who are fearful to study, or people who are fearful of maybe just the school environment. They make it very, very easy for you to sit and learn different ways of learning too. I loved that about them. Just there were different ways. If you weren't able to click this way, you always had a professor that was able to say, hey, maybe you should try it this way. And that's what I loved most about it. Definitely.
Great. Did you have any personal heroes or mentors? It sounds like you had a very determined path,
Yes.
A vision of what you wanted to achieve. But there were any people in your life who were heroes or mentors to you, who inspired you?
I think definitely would be the counselors, definitely the student counselors, because I was a working mom, I didn't spend as much time on campus, necessarily going to the clubs but definitely when I needed guidance, The guidance counselors were amazing, very patient, understood what I wanted, and made sure that what I was getting is actually going to be beneficial. So I would definitely say your guidance staff was, yeah, by far amazing. Not all the professors were amazing, but as a working parent, you could kind of just showed up on campus, did your class, and left. But when I needed career advice, or I needed, that studying to meet with somebody, definitely the guidance staff was by far my highly recommended ones.
Faith, can you tell us a bit about your work now? You're the CEO and owner of Credos.
Yes. So after retiring from law enforcement in 2019, I was approached by a couple artists that asked me to manage them because they were aware of my management style, my management skill, and my experience in administration. I took that on, not really knowing anything about the music industry, but I took them on. And sooner, within maybe about 2 or 3 months, I realized that not only did artists need my expertise, but general individuals, people who were starting businesses, individuals who were struggling as to finding what they wanted to do. So I started my management company. I consult with businesses, music artists, individuals. I help people with their professional resumes. I help people to start their LLCs in Florida. So I just kind of it's my way of giving back. It's just my way. So I've used my skills and my expertise to create a company where I get to give back to others.
If somebody wanted to reach out to you, what would be the best way for them to contact you?
By far, by phone. My phone number is going to be the best way, 954-494-9203. I am on Facebook, I am on Instagram, I am on Twitter. It's Credos Global Group. But definitely by far, phone number, more intimate, and it's easier to reach me there.
Okay, and we'll share that information with our
Yes.
alumni as well. Faith, do you have any final thoughts about your connection to Broward College?
I would definitely say, not only for students who are maybe going to be listening to this, but for parents of prospective students, because 2 of my children went on to study at Broward College. And I would definitely say, think about it, because it is now, back then it was Broward Community College. Now you've expanded your services, so that way you're able to facilitate students who want their bachelor's degree. So definitely, it's a college to consider. I have no bad experiences there. My children have had beautiful experiences. My youngest graduated from Nova in 2020, Nova High School, and she did dual enrollment with Broward College. And the transition from high school to college is so easy for them. She's now studying at University of Central Florida to be a nurse. But definitely our conversation, she says, man, I could have stayed home and done my nursing, but I wanted to be close to my brother. So I would definitely tell anyone that's thought about Broward College, heard about Broward College, definitely check it out. It is by far one of my favorite colleges, and all the experiences there. And I continue to hear experiences from people who are attending as adults. For adults who are looking to go back into school, definitely Broward College is going to be your place to go.
Wonderful. So Faith, just as an aside here, is there anything that I haven't addressed that you wanted to speak to?
I don't think people realize that you guys are actually a college, and it's not just a community college. You guys actually offered a bachelor's degree in certain areas. So I think a lot of times people overlook that. They just think that you're just a community college, just a place to go after high school, but you actually cater to the workforce. You guys have a lot of certificate courses. So people who are not necessarily looking for a degree, but need a certification in a particular thing, you guys offer that as well. So I think sometimes, people just need to kind of check you guys out, the website, and realize that you guys offer a lot more than just a community college kind of education. You guys are actually a 4-year degree seeking college.
Exactly. Faith, thank you so much. I mean, we're inspired by your example, and we're proud of you as you are proud to be a graduate of this college. Thank you so much, and we'll look forward with anticipation to the continuation of your path.
Thank you so much for having me on, and I'm looking forward to assisting Broward College in any way that I can.